Hello. Have you ever been on a train? They're quite pleasant, aren't they? You can sit back with a cup of tea and a biscuit watching the world whiz by. But what if that world whizzed by much, much faster? That's the brilliant idea behind the bullet train. It's not just a train, it's a revolution on rails, a machine designed to shrink the world, or at least your corner of it. These incredible machines are officially known as high-speed rail, but everyone calls them bullet trains because, well, they look a bit like a speeding bullet. And they are properly fast, much faster than any car you'll find on the M25 during rush hour. Imagine wanting to travel from London to Manchester. Normally, that's a bit of a trek. You could drive, but then you have to deal with traffic, roundabouts, and the constant worry of finding a decent service station. Or you could take a regular train, which is perfectly fine but can take a couple of hours. A bullet train, however, would get you there in what feels like the time it takes to finish your newspaper and a cheese sandwich. It's all about making long distances feel short, connecting big cities so closely that you could live in one and work in another without spending half your life commuting. The whole point was to solve a problem that was getting bigger and bigger, especially after the Second World War. Countries were rebuilding, cities were growing, and more people needed to travel for work and for fun. The old railway systems, with their chugging steam engines and winding tracks, just couldn't keep up with the pace of modern life. They were slow, often late, and the tracks were getting crowded. People needed a new, more efficient way to get around, something that was as reliable as it was quick. It was a challenge that required some very clever thinking and a lot of engineering genius. This need for speed and efficiency sparked a race to create the future of travel. It wasn't about simply making the old trains go a bit faster. It was about completely rethinking the entire system from the ground up. You needed new trains, new tracks, and a new way of thinking about what was possible. The goal was to build something that could compete with aeroplanes for speed on shorter journeys, but with the comfort and convenience of a train. This grand ambition would change how millions of people travel, live, and see their own countries, all thanks to the magnificent machine known as the bullet train. The story of the bullet train properly begins in Japan. After the devastation of World War II, Japan was in a frenzy of rebuilding and innovation. It was a nation determined to show the world it was back on its feet, and it chose to do so in a spectacular way. The government and its cleverest engineers had a truly bold idea. As the country prepared to host the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, they decided to build a railway line unlike any other in the world. This wasn't just about fixing old tracks. It was about creating a symbol of Japan's new future, a future that was fast, efficient, and technologically advanced. This project was called the Shinkansen, which simply means new trunk line. The first line, the Tokaido Shinkansen, was built to connect the massive cities of Tokyo and Osaka. Before the Shinkansen, this journey took nearly 7 hours, which is a long time to be stuck on a train. The engineers promised their new bullet train could do it in about half that time. Many people thought they were mad. The costs were enormous, and the engineering challenges were unlike anything anyone had ever faced before. They had to dig new tunnels through mountains and build long viaducts over valleys, creating a special dedicated track just for these new trains. On October 1st, 1964, just before the Olympics began, the first Shinkansen pulled out of Tokyo Station. It was a moment of immense national pride. The train, with its iconic rounded nose, glided out of the station and quickly accelerated to speeds of over 130 miles per hour. For the people on board and the millions watching, it was like stepping into the future. Suddenly, a long, tiring journey became a short, comfortable trip. It completely changed the way people thought about distance in Japan. Osaka was no longer a far-off city. It was now a manageable commute from the capital. The impact was immediate and massive. The Shinkansen was a roaring success. It was incredibly punctual, famously running within seconds of its scheduled time. Even more impressively, it was unbelievably safe. In over 50 years of operation, carrying billions of passengers, there has not been a single passenger fatality due to a crash or derailment on the network. This amazing record of speed, safety, and reliability made the Shinkansen a global icon. Other countries looked at what Japan had achieved with a mixture of awe and envy, and soon, they wanted their own bullet trains to revolutionize their travel. So, how does a bullet train manage to go so ridiculously fast while staying so smooth and safe? Well, it's not magic, it's just very clever engineering. First of all, a bullet train can't run on regular railway tracks. The old tracks have sharp curves and are often bumpy, which is fine for a slow-moving train, but would be a disaster at high speeds. Instead, bullet trains run on dedicated tracks that are built to be as straight and as flat as possible. All the curves are very wide and gentle, and the rails are continuously welded together to eliminate the classic clickety-clack sound and create a perfectly smooth surface. Next, there's the train itself. Look at the front of a bullet train, and you'll notice it has a long, pointed nose, a bit like an aeroplane. This is for aerodynamics. At high speeds, pushing through the air creates a lot of resistance, which slows you down and uses a lot of energy. The sleek, streamlined shape of the train helps it cut through the air with minimal effort, which is essential for reaching top speeds efficiently. It's the same reason a Formula One car looks the way it does, except you can enjoy a hot beverage inside a bullet train without spilling it all over your trousers. Powering these beasts is also quite different. Instead of having one big engine at the front pulling all the carriages, bullet trains use something called a distributed power system. This means that electric motors are placed under several of the carriages along the length of the train. This spreads the power out, allowing for smoother and faster acceleration and braking. It also means the train is lighter and puts less stress on the tracks. The electricity is collected from overhead power lines by a special device on top of the train called a pantograph. Finally, there's the braking system, which is just as important as the engine. Stopping a machine that weighs hundreds of tons and is traveling at nearly 200 miles per hour is no small feat. Bullet trains use a combination of advanced braking systems. They have regular disc brakes, similar to those in a car, but they also use regenerative braking, where the electric motors run in reverse, acting like generators to slow the train down and even produce electricity that can be sent back into the power grid. It's a brilliant system that is both powerful and incredibly efficient. After Japan showed the world what was possible with the Shinkansen, it wasn't long before other countries wanted a piece of the high-speed action. France was one of the first to follow. In 1981, they launched their own magnificent bullet train, the TGV, which stands for Train à Grande Vitesse, or high-speed train. The TGV smashed speed records and connected Paris to cities like Lyon in a fraction of the time it used to take. The French were very proud of the TGV, and rightly so. It was a triumph of European engineering and proved that the bullet train concept could be adapted and improved upon. Germany was not far behind, introducing its own high-speed train, the Intercity Express, or ICE. The German approach was slightly different, focusing as much on comfort and luxury inside the carriages as on outright speed. Soon, a network of high-speed lines began to spread across Europe, with countries like Spain, Italy, and even the United Kingdom joining the club. The Eurostar, which connects London to Paris and Brussels by diving under the English Channel, is a fantastic example. It showed that bullet trains could even connect nations that were separated by sea, making international travel faster and easier than ever before. However, the country that has taken the bullet train idea and truly run with it is China. Starting in the early 2000s, China embarked on the largest high-speed rail construction project in human history. In just a couple of decades, they have built a network that is longer than all the other high-speed lines in the world combined. Their trains, like the Fuxinghao series, are among the fastest in commercial operation, linking hundreds of cities across the vast country. This incredible network has completely transformed travel and the economy in China, showing what can be achieved with massive investment and national determination. This global spread of bullet trains has created a wonderful competition of innovation. Engineers in each country are constantly working to make their trains faster, safer, and more efficient. And now we're even seeing the next step in this technology with maglev trains. These trains don't even have wheels. They use powerful magnets to float just above the track, eliminating friction and allowing for mind-boggling speeds. Japan is currently building a maglev line that will eventually connect Tokyo and Nagoya at speeds of over 300 miles per hour. It's a glimpse into an even faster future. So, what does the future hold for these marvelous machines? For one thing, they are incredibly important for the health of our planet. Compared to flying or driving, bullet trains are much friendlier to the environment. Because they run on electricity, they don't produce exhaust fumes that pollute the air. If that electricity comes from green sources like wind or solar power, then travel by bullet train becomes an incredibly clean way to get around. As we look for ways to reduce our carbon footprint, high-speed rail offers a brilliant solution for connecting our cities without harming the world around us. Of course, building a bullet train line is not without its challenges. The biggest one is the cost. These projects are astonishingly expensive. You have to buy huge amounts of land, dig long tunnels, build enormous bridges, and develop all the advanced technology. This means that only governments or very large companies can afford to build them, and it can take many years to see a return on that investment. Finding the right path for the tracks can also be difficult, as you have to build them through countryside and sometimes close to where people live, which can cause some debate. Despite these hurdles, the future of bullet trains looks brighter and faster than ever. Engineers are working on new designs that will allow trains to travel at even higher speeds, potentially pushing toward 300 miles per hour on conventional tracks. They are also developing smart systems that use artificial intelligence to manage the network, ensuring trains run even more punctually and safely. The goal is to create a seamless, integrated transport system where you can hop off a plane and onto a bullet train that whisks you to your final destination in record time, making the entire journey smooth and stress-free. Ultimately, the bullet train is more than just a fast way to travel. It's a technology that brings people closer together, drives economic growth, and helps protect our environment. From that first audacious Shinkansen in Japan to the sprawling networks of Europe and China, these trains have shrunk our world in the best possible way. They have turned long, tedious journeys into short, pleasant trips, giving us more time to spend at our destinations rather than just getting there. The story of the bullet train is a fantastic tale of human ingenuity, and it's a story that is still being written, one high-speed kilometer at a time. All aboard.